way they're going to handle it because they got to see what they have in Foles and see if they get a full season out of him. They know what they got with Minshew, and they got a guy that has been in that situation both as a player and a coach. So as far as I'm concerned, that's probably how they're going to handle it.
Okay, well, now that you brought that up, okay, here's another hypothetical. Doug Marrone gets off to a tough start. Do you see Jay Gruden as a potential head coach for the Jacksonville Jaguars?
Sure.
Yeah.
Without a doubt.
Yeah.
Without a doubt.
So in my opinion, it almost looks like Doug Marrone's rope is much thinner than we even want to believe, isn't it, Bill?
Yeah, the thing I'm going to say to this, and I always said this, you got to give a coach 5 years.
Okay.
Okay, you can't just come in and expect these guys to be miracle workers. Every once in a while, you'll get lucky. Okay, I mean, no disrespect. Andy Reid got a little lucky with Mahomes. So he's got a legitimate shot. I always say that, Belichick got lucky with Tom Brady. Nobody really knows for sure how these guys are going to translate from college to the pros.
True.
Okay, I mean, and some of us are a little arrogant. We'll kind of sit back and go, see, I saw it coming, and everything else. So you see organizations get lucky, which, I think that's why they have to have extremely good scouting departments these days. But the reality of it is I see, Gruden maybe becoming the head coach at Jacksonville if they don't get off to a fast start. But I also think that, Marrone's good friends with O'Brien. He's a good coach. They were winning some games until, a few years ago, until their defense kind of fell apart and everything else. So you got to give a coach a while to build his organization and get, it going. And, we just are too impatient these days. And really solid organizations like the Steelers,
right,
they're consistent and they get all on the same page and they're patient enough to develop, and then and move. So, it wouldn't surprise me down there, but I think also that the owner of Jacksonville might be smart enough to let Marrone stay in there and get this thing going the way he wants to. Because, they're kind of, I think they've got to get their culture going. I think, they got a great defense. Then they started to realize we're going to go with some guys and some other guys we're not going to go with. And we've got to make a decision on Coughlin. Okay, we've got to make a decision on this defensive back who wants out, who's causing a lot of problems. And Doug is kind of stuck in the middle.
Mm-hmm.
And I think he's bringing in a guy, Gruden, that he can hand the ball off to. And it wouldn't surprise me if Doug Marrone went upstairs and went to the organization if they were to fire him as a coach. Because he's been on both sides of the fence and he's still there. Both when they were not really good and when they were really good. So, I mean, as far as I'm concerned, if I'm the owner, I'm just trying to surround myself with solid football people that are good head coaches. But if I fire them, I'm not cleaning house because I think they already did that with Coughlin.
Yeah, and I think to continue your point, Shad Khan, in my opinion, is a very patient owner. There are a lot of meddling owners out there. And I feel like by getting rid of Tom Coughlin, he didn't want to go ahead. What if, Tom Coughlin wasn't the problem? Do we still have our best player? And he wants to find out about the dysfunction that went on that Coughlin undoubtedly caused. So that it's called the old what if thing, and you know that what if thing all too well, Bill.
I do. They've got some issues down there in Jacksonville that they've got to address at the top. Okay, for a long time there was a cocaine problem several years ago with that ball club. That's one of the reasons why they brought Coughlin in. And then Coughlin, got them going, and then we thought they were going to be a solid friends for a while. Okay, and then the running back that they drafted got hurt, and that really kind of changed, where they were going. Because they were a run-dominant team that played great defense.
Right.
Now the defense is kind of average, and their run game has been suspect. And then they got and they paid all this money to this quarterback. So they really haven't decided how they're going to, what kind of team they're going to have, and what kind of culture they're going to have. Okay, and I think what they're going to do is I think they're moving towards more of a quarterback that can throw the football. They're going to get away from the run game. That's what I think. So, I mean, that's why they're bringing in Gruden and why they're sticking with Doug Marrone, because Doug Marrone can handle either way. All right, Coughlin was more 3 yards in a cloud of dust and played great defense. And I think that the fact that they've got a lot of money invested in Foles now, they may be changing their philosophy a little bit down there. a mix between all three. So that's just the way I assess the situation down there. I'll be honest with you, Jacksonville is a sleeping giant.
I think so too.
Fans are not going to the games, but if they start winning down there, that city will go apeshit.
Oh yeah, no, I know. I've covered games there the last few years, and you're right. That's a town waiting to erupt. Now, knowing Gruden, he's so smart enough that you have a good back in Leonard Fournette, and Leonard Fournette proved to me that not only is he a factor in the backfield, but the guy can actually go ahead and catch balls as well. So I think that Jay Gruden's smart enough that he'll get some mileage out of Leonard Fournette. Well, I think he's a pretty solid back.
For sure, and probably what they'll do is incorporate throwing the ball to him coming out of the backfield, which is a sign of a true back. He's big enough to pick up the blitz. He's big enough to run the rock off tackle in the backfield like an eye back. And also, scoot him out into the flat, throwing the ball out of the backfield. So when you've got your run game covered, okay, you can go out and get some weapons for the quarterbacks. Okay, and you've got a pretty solid defense where they just need to replace one or two things, so the draft is going to be huge for them.
Yeah, well, there you go. I love when you lead into my point. So you get rid of Jalen Ramsey, you get a decent return for him with the draft by the Rams. Let's go ahead and elaborate on your point. This draft is a make-or-break draft for the Jacksonville Jaguars. Agree or disagree?
I think yes. I would say it's a make-or-break draft. If they're going to, hopefully they salary capped it right. They're kind of let the players know that they're not going to put up with guys that are going to ask for too much money. They're going to spread the wealth around. They've invested in the quarterback. They got a good backup, so they know that at least they can win at that position. They've got to go out and get some key pieces. And when you got a good running back and you got a pretty solid defense, they can evolve pretty quickly. So yeah, I would answer that and say the next 2 years is critical as far as how far they build their team. And remember, they're in a really tough division.
That's true.
Okay.
That's
so,
true.
You got to be patient. And, I think that, this year and next year's drafts are critical for them.
Okay, well, I'll tell you, we got about 2.5 minutes to go. So, first of all, what are your thoughts about working with Candy Ebling on the next broadcast?
I love it.
You love it?
Yeah.
How about that? She's going to challenge you, Bill. I'm telling you, Candy Ebling will challenge you. Get ready for that. There's more to her than just...
I'm looking forward to it.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, don't worry. Candy...
As we evolve, there's some women out there that are actually dynamite at what they do.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised when she runs all over me. That'd be great.
Oh, I think she'll run all over you and make you look bad. And one other thing...
We got the young guys. We got the females. Okay, we got the old farts in there. We got a good squad.
Yeah, we do. Well, with that...
The smorgasbord.
Candy's going to make you look really bad, Bill. Everybody thinks I'm building her up. I don't have to. Let me tell you, when I first started going out with her, one of the first dates that we went on was over at a restaurant, and we were both looking at NFL firings, and Candy and I were both comparing where these coaches were going to go. So, can you only...
Match made in heaven.
Huh?
I said a match
Oh,
made in heaven.
it was, man. I'm telling you. But that's match made in heaven, ballpark, wherever. Candy Ebling will bring it to you. So with that said, okay, Bill, you got about 1.5 minutes, and it's all Bill Winters. Tell people how they can find you.
You can go to my YouTube channel and the search engine at YouTube and type in my name, Bill Winters, like the season with an S and the word football after it, and immediately come up with a purple circle with me wearing a Nike hat. And just hit subscribe and you're in. You can also go to my Wikipedia page if you want to see my body of work. I'm an anomaly. Okay, but you'll see that I've been around long enough to know that I've got some street cred. Bill Winters Football on my Wikipedia page. Okay, and then you've got also me on Facebook. All right, and what I've been doing is posting some pictures so that when we talk on these shows, you can correlate this stuff so that we can talk about higher-ended stuff.
And not only that, Bill Winters' his own show here on the South Florida Tribune Broadcasting Network. So, Bill, once again, outstanding job. Okay, listen to the tape here and see if you learn anything from this segment, because I know you're the best, and I love you anyway, so it doesn't matter. But former New York Giant offensive lineman Bill Winters, is a permanent part of the South Florida Tribune Broadcasting Network. So, Bill, get ready to strap it up. We got some Super Bowl stuff ahead of us, all right?
Good night, y'all.
Good night, Bill. All right, so obviously, I think it's been a pretty balanced show. We've had a chance to talk a little bit of NBA. We've been able to get some baseball involved, which I know is your favorite sport. But it's Hall of Fame weekend, and I want to make sure that every individual that has an opinion about this gets that opportunity to express it, especially with baseball. I think outside of the World Series, for me, this is one of the biggest times of the year when they announce those selections. And I wonder how I'm going to feel about 2021 with the intrigue. And I say intrigue about what we can look for. Now, you said you wanted to have a poll question on the Twitter account, right?
Yeah, we'll try to get it up there tomorrow for you guys. So for our baseball fans, and we're gonna ask you this: among the current players in the major leagues right now, who do you believe has the best chance to get into the Hall of Fame? And with that said, because we have other things to plan for here, why don't I ask you that real quick? Name me 3 players in the major leagues right now that you think are first ballot Hall of Famers, or at least going to get there or have good cases, and I'll give you my list.
Well, I mean, there's no doubt I'm going to say Steve Trout.
Mike Trout. Steve Trout's his father.
Oh, Steve Trout. All right. Mike Trout. Okay. Well, Steve Trout was pretty good.
Pretty good hitter. 300 hitter in the minor leagues.
Exactly. Okay. Yeah. So, good misspeak, but Mike Trout. Thank you for correcting me there. But I won't have to doubt that Bryce Harper will. I do believe that Bryce Harper will become a first ballot Hall of Famer under the following condition: that he goes ahead and stays healthy.
Yeah, I mean, he's putting together a pretty good resume. I'll do some additional analysis, and maybe I'll put it in a piece on Bryce Harper and his potential candidacy. But guys, obviously, I'm thinking of Trout is a first ballot Hall of Famer, Miguel Cabrera, Clayton Kershaw. Say what you want about the World Series, I don't care. Obviously, we know the 2 that he pitched in. There were some extenuating circumstances that hurt him. Here's a number for you: the one game that he pitched in Houston where he got lit up. John, you can watch the footage. You can hear John Smoltz saying that the Astros hitters know what's coming. The 2 other games that he pitched in that World Series, 15 innings pitched, or 11 innings pitched, 1 run, 15 strikeouts. And he wasn't in Houston for that one, so he didn't have any garbage cans going off like some African percussion.
Well, I mean, if I'm allowed 4, I'll tell you right now, Clayton Kershaw, I'm with you there. And I would put Justin Verlander in the
Justin Verlander as well. You know what? Max Scherzer's a future Hall of Famer as well. Yeah, he's got the World Series. He's got 3 Cy Young Awards.
Well, don't limit him to 3. You had 5 good ones there. Mike Trout, folks, not Steve. Okay, although there's bloodlines in the family. Bryce Harper, Miguel Cabrera too.
Absolutely.
Is one you have to put in there. Unfortunately, the last couple of years, because of injuries and a bad team, haven't helped his cause. But when you look at the overall body of work, Cabrera, I definitely think gets warranted.
Yeah, Miguel Cabrera had a 13-year period from 2004 to 2006 with the OPS plus was nearly 150. He won Triple Crown and 2 MVPs in that span. One can argue that Mike Trout deserved the MVP that year. He won the Triple Crown. But Miguel Cabrera, nonetheless, is one of the best hitter of his generation for sure, and one of the greatest pure baseball hitters of all time. The ability to hit for power, average, and get on base. He did it all. Definitely a future first ballot Hall of Famer. But let us know, guys. We're going to try to get that poll question up on Twitter for you. We want to hear your thoughts. Give us some current names that you 2 think are on their way to Cooperstown. I know there's probably some that we're leaving out, but, baseball is such a great game. I'll say this now, and I understand his image may be a little bit tainted because of the scandal. Jose Altuve, for me, is still going to be a guy who's going to get some serious Hall of Fame consideration. Even before they were stealing signs, the guy had won multiple batting titles. I know the public perception on him right now.
He's got age on his side. That's all I'll say.
Mm-hmm.
Stealing. Let's just make sure we understand the difference here. It's one thing to be stealing signs, which has been going on forever. Okay, and I get that, but that's different between that and steroids. So let's make sure that stealing signs and steroids become differentiated there between the 2. So I wouldn't rule him out of the discussion.
And the one commonality that you can really draw between the 2 is that they they tend to put the game's integrity in question, and we understand that. Like stealing signs, you can use the appeal to nature fallacy to say that they've been going on for pretty much ever